Battery 80%. Connected to Srinivasaragari.
Asangoham, 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 punah punaha, Satchidanandarupoham, ahamevahamavyayah. Nityashuddha vimuktoham, nirakarohamavyayah. Bhumanandasvarupoham, ahamevahamavyayah. Nityoham niravadyoham, nirakarohamachyutah, paramanandarupoham, ahamevahamavyayah. Shuddha chaitanya rupoham, atma ramohamevacha, akhandanandarupoham, ahamevahamavyayah. Pratyakchaitanya rupoham, shantoham, prakrteh paraha, shashvatanandarupoham, ahamevahamavyayah. Tattvadita paratmaham, madhyatita parashivah, mayatita paranjyoti, ahamevahamavyayah. Nānā-rūpa vyatitoham, chidākārohamachyutah, sukha-rūpa-svarupoham, ahamevahamavyayah. Maya tatkarya dehādi, mama nastyeva sarvada, svaprakāṣaikarupoham, ahamevahamavyayah. Gunatraya vyatitoham, brahmadīnāñca sākṣyaham, anantānandarupoham, ahamevahamavyayah. Antajyotisvarupoham, kūtastas sarvagosmyaham, साक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्।
Hari Om. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's use the power of joint prayers and invoke the blessings of the Almighty. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya sahana vavatu sahano bhunakto sahaviryankaravavahai tejasvina vadhitamastu ma vedvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, the Omnipresent, who also has the divine names as Sat, to such a Supreme Almighty, together with Shraddha, Bhakti, Prapatti, we offer our humblemost salutations. To seek your grace, your love, your mercy, your strength, your benevolence, your affection, your forgiveness. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities like Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti and Mumukshutvam in a much more enhanced quantity. This is not for any personal gain, but only and only to understand Thy true self right within our hearts as a very personal experience, Aparoksha Anubhuthi. We beseech in you again and again to grant us with this rarest of the rare opportunity to understand Thyself. Our salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Today, with the blessings of the Divine and the blessings of the Guru Parampara. Today we are on our Divine Discourse number 439, Aparoksha Anubhuthi session number 27. On the 20th of August 2025, Shri Vishwavasu Nama Samvatsara Dakshinayana Varsharutu Shravanamasa Krishna Paksha Saumya Vasare Dwadashyatitau Punarvasu Nakshatra Siddhi Yoge Taitulakarane. On this auspicious day of Wednesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all make a firm resolve in our minds. Naham karta hari karta hari preranaya hari prityartham. O Lord, I know for real, with conviction, that there is only one supreme reality, and that supreme reality is seen as various names and objects. I completely understand this, and I know that you are the doer. I am not the doer. Naham karta hari karta. So every action that is happening through this body and mind, I know for sure it is the unmanifest which is manifesting through this body, mind and senses, and having all the experiences of life. Being in this knowledge, not to move on to the jiva bhava, give me that power and strength to stay in this supreme reality. We once again offer our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, all of you, once again. So, now Bhagavan Shankaracharya is on his feet. He is not going to leave us. He has understood we are worthy students, and he continues to hammer. Like as you have seen, in when you take a body massage, there gives you continuous strokes, same manner, and then they slightly change it, and then they reverse it. So in the same way here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is doing. He wants us to get this knowledge at any cost. Now, if you want the muscles to relax, the toxins to be thrown away, the blood flow to increase, and then if you want the nervous system to also relax, now for all this, that kind of a massage is required. You're pressing the entire muscle, flesh, and giving a direction to the blood as well. So, here the same way Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling us in different ways. In the same way, in the different ways, meaning what? The same message is communicated in different manners. So now you see what appeals to you and catch hold of one particular theory or a lesson which you have understood and continuously meditate on it. Why do we need to do meditation? As per the Shastras, you need to soak that knowledge into yourself so that all the vasanas and the contrary thoughts, viparita bhavana, so those get away. And you are with the new knowledge. If you talk scientifically, how does it happen? In the brain, you have got these neurons and neuroplasticity, neural pathways are there. Now, what was the default setting earlier? Now you are changing the default setting. What was my default setting? I am this person. This so and so person who has got so and so personality, he has got so and so physical structure, he has got a emotional structure, a mental structure, his behavior, his profession. So all this come under that personality, which we call as a jiva. Now, as far as it is in the state of a jiva, it is outside the purview of the Paramatma. If you want to become one with the Paramatma, you have to have the qualities of the Paramatma. To have the qualities of Paramatma, you need to take this knowledge and change yourself completely. Then only you can become that. Okay. So now we'll move on with today's session. Before that, I feel we should take a crisp look at what we learnt in the previous class. Okay, 438. We spoke about we all having limited time. So as you see in a zoo where you are, and then what all you need to cover, which are the very important things to cover in a zoo, and immediately you make a plan based on that limited time you have. And there what you are learning, I am not the karta, I am the witness, I am the sakshi. And other important lessons, we all live for happiness. But what you should become a person who has gone deep within himself and he is living from happiness, not for happiness. Bhumaiva Sukham, Chandogya Upanishad. And the default setting what we have in our phone, which is the ego plus the kartrutva. This is our default setting as a jiva, which we have come with that. Avarana and Vikshepa Shakti of Maya. So now we are changing that default setting. We are making it as I am the witness, I am awareness, and that switch is happening. So today, as we do each and every shloka, we'll have a drill, a practical session where for 2 or 3 minutes we will practice what knowledge or inputs Bhagavan Shankaracharya is giving in the most practical sense. And then we understand that there are two awareness. One is that reflected consciousness, which we call as the Chidabhasa, and the second one is consciousness, which is Atman. So here, how this error happens, the ego, it hijacks that reflection and claims that doership as I am the karta. Then we spoke about continuously we need to audit avastatraya sakshi, waking, dream and deep sleep. This is not me. These three are only relevant to the mind. As far as there is a mind, there is a waking state, there is a dream state, and there is a deep sleep state. But understand that you are the fourth, which is the turiya. So then in verse 62, we spoke about that how you imagine a ghost in an empty space, how you imagine the cities, Gandharva Nagari in the sky with the clouds, and how with a distorted vision, like you press your eye, you can see two. So one moon was looking like two moons. So fault is in the lens, which is the Maya. We have come with that lens. So it's going to look that way only to us. Now, then when you understand, do that correction, then you can see there is only one moon, there is only one truth. Then verse 63, we understood what is difference between substance and the shapes. Like what are waves? It is nothing but water. What are pots, plates, glasses? Nothing but copper. So these multiverses, they rise and they fall, but the substratum never changes. And you are nothing but that substratum. Then verse 64, He said, now you just need to drop the name. Nama Rupa, you need to drop. That Ghatam, Mrudu, Pata, Tantu, Jagat, Chid, Ananda. Drop all the Nama Rupa. All that Vyavahara, transactions, what you are doing, yes. Everything which you see moving around is only happening in your consciousness, awareness. Get this point. You have to just move one step backwards. Now I'm able to see. How am I able to see? I have awareness. I'm able to talk. How am I able to talk? Because I've got that consciousness, awareness within me. So every action which you can, perception, action, emotion, everything is governed by that one principle, which is that awareness. And then verse number 65, then who really is doing? Sarvopi Vyavahara Brahmanaha. It says that awareness, just like that electricity in your house is running each and every appliance. Be it right from your doorbell, the light as you enter. Then you are tired, you want to sit below the fan. Then you want to have a cup of cold water. You open the fridge. Then after some time you say, let me have some tea. And then you switch on your electrical stove or your microwave. So this way, continuously every apparatus, Nama Rupa, what is its source? Electricity. And then we spoke about how our mind is in that default setting. We have that one gentleman was carrying a goat for the sacrifice. Somebody says, what is this? You're carrying a dog. He says, what dog? I bought a goat. The second person also says same thing. Then again the third person says the same thing. He threw the goat thinking it is a dog and went away. In the same way, we have to change. That means mind is subject to change. Don't we tell people, oh, that person has changed. He is not what he was earlier. In the good sense and in the adverse sense also. So here our mind has to change. I just need to know what is that which is making the electrical appliance work in my house. As you see, when you see everything with today's exercise, you'll get to know you're primarily putting yourself in that place and trying to go one step backwards and understand the reality. Like as Akbar, he praised his gardener. Wow, what a beautiful garden you have raised. Then Birbal comes and tells him, sir, it is not he. Sunlight, water, soil. See, credit has to go to the source, not the person who is. What will the gardener do without these three? So that way we need to practice. So now what is the drill over here we can do? Practical. Because let me tell you, in this whole study from 1 to 10, if you say, 1 element goes for study. 9 elements or 9 aspects should go for practice. Without practice, this will not come. You might have drawn a beautiful bridge on paper. Everything is ready. The contractor is ready. The money is ready. The place is, yes, waiting for a bridge to come over there. But you don't get into action. What will happen? The bridge will never be constructed. So here, the knowledge what we have got, I am the awareness of. You can just close your eyes for a moment and listen to me carefully. I am the awareness of hearing. You can hear my voice. Now, what do you had in mind so far, default setting? I am the hearer. Now what you do? You shift that default setting to I am the awareness in which this hearing is happening. That's all you need to do. You taste something. You can open your eyes. You taste something. And for a moment, just realize the essence of taste in your mouth. Oh, it's tasty. We say that. Oh, it's so nice today. It is too salty today. It's not that great. Now you got that essence of taste. When that essence of taste comes, close your eyes and then say for that 1 second, I am not the taster, but I am the one who is aware of this tasting. That is what you need to move from the Jiva Bhava to the Sakshi Bhava. And then apply these Stula, Sukshma, Karana, that Avastatraya, what is there? I am not this, not this, not this. Go on, cross the Gunatraya. So this way, you have to constantly hammer on rewiring your brain. And I told you a mudra. Now this way. Now these 2 fingers go over the other. This comes on this goes on this. And then you circle it 50 times. You can do it anytime. While you're walking, while you're sitting, you're talking to somebody, just keep doing this. And today I'll tell you scientifically how much this works and what advantage do we have. And then do Brahmari, do Anulom Vilom, and again, what is the substance behind everything? There is existence, consciousness. Drishyam sarvam namarupam drushta aham sakshi. Who is this? Turiya. I am the one who is seeing the waking state. I am the one who is seeing the dream state, and I am the one who is seeing the deep sleep state. I am the one who is seeing the Stula Sharira, the one who is seeing the Sukshma Sharira. See, the physical body I can see. Mind also I can see. The thoughts coming in my mind. And thirdly, I am able to see the Karana Sharira, where suddenly some desire comes in. Suddenly an emotion comes in. Where is this coming from? This is coming from your Karana Sharira. And this way, know that the waves, they differ, but that water is one and one alone. All the people, beings, plants, animals, what you see are all one. That Chit, Satchitananda. And I am that awareness, now this Atma, in which this doing appears, but not the doer. I am the awareness in which this doing, this karya is happening. This talking is happening through the manifest body, mind and senses, but I am the unmanifest. You have to just repeat these things. I am the awareness in which I am aware of this body speaking. I am not the speaker. This is the deep knowledge which we need to understand. And now let's see in verse 66 what Bhagavan Shankaracharya has to tell us. Come. We'll go to 66. We'll take the first shloka. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. Now in verse 66 he says, Karya Karanata Nityam Aste Ghatamrude Mrudor Yatha Tathaiva Shruti Yuktibhyam Prapancha Brahmanor Riha. Very simple shloka. But as I told you, it should get into your head. That is what is important over here. Karya Karanata. Again, he comes back to the cause and effect theory. Now, what it says, let me give you in one gist, and you hold on to that gist till the end. Just as the relationship is between a mud pot and a pot, so is the relationship between Parabrahman and the world. And then he says, this is told by Shruti and logic. Shruti yuktibhyam. By Shrutis also the same thing is said, and by logic also, you understand? I have told enough of logic for you. So this is the crisp understanding. As the effect cause relationship, invariably what is there between a pot and clay, in the same way it is established, the same principle is established by Shruti and sound reasoning. So what is it saying? The relation holds what is happening here between the world which is appearing and Brahman. So the relationship between clay and pot, first of all, you are one and the same thing. There are no two things. You cannot separate them. I cannot say that, okay, you give me my clay and you keep the pot. No. How can I do that? If you want to keep the pot, you have to keep the clay. They are exactly the same thing. So in the same way, the world and Brahman are one and the same. Cause and effect. Brahman is the cause and the world is the effect. So now, here if you see, Nityam, he uses one word here. This is the drilling word we can say. What Nityam talks about over here? Karya Karanata Nityam Aste Gatamrudor Yata. This Nityam is not eternal in time, but it says it's invariable. So whenever you point to a pot, know invariably that it is clay. What have we understood? Pot. No, invariably it is clay. So the labels may vary, but the relation doesn't. Likewise, whatever you point to in this world or in this prapancha, the substratum, the substance, the essence is Sat-Chit. That's all. So he says, look at the pot, but know that there is clay behind the pot, without which the pot is not there. It doesn't have existence. So now the Shruti and Yukti, now both this, Shruti says, Sadeva Saumyam Agrasit. So now this is told by, in the Chandogya Upanishad. In the beginning, my dear, father is telling the son, in the beginning, my dear, all this was only existence, that Sat. Advayam, one without a second. Another Shruti says, Aitreya Shruti, Yato va imani bhutani, that from which all beings are born, and that by which all beings live, and that by which all beings eventually return back. No, that is Brahman. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman. Another Shruti talks about this. This is Chandogya again. All this indeed is Brahman and Brahman alone. So these are like the Supreme Court judgments. You cannot question over there. That's the highest. When it goes to that point, and if the ruling is made, that is established. Now in the same way, the Upanishads, which are the highest form of teachings, the Vedas, now they stand supreme. Now Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, no, use your brain. Don't just go by faith. If I am saying go by Upanishad, just don't take that. Go by faith, yukti, logic. So use that Anvaya and Vetireka, which we did in the previous Shlokas. Without clay, no pot. Vetireka. With clay, pot may or may not be there. This is the test, Vyatireka test. So without which there is no pot in any manner. But whether there is pot or not, clay can always be there. And what does the Anvaya logic stand for? Clay can stand without a pot, pot cannot stand without a clay. So now how do we understand this logic? Brahman can stand alone in the unmanifest form. World can't stand without Brahman. You need a material cause to build a wall. You need material cause. You need stones or bricks, cement, sand, water. Upadana karana. Now here in Advaita Vedanta, Parabrahman with Maya and Ishvara. Ishvara is, you can compare to Shiva. Maya is Prakriti, that is Parvati. And with that, the entire universe has come into creation. Brahman is taken as the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana, which means when you are making a wall, you need all the materials which I said. That is the Upadana Karana. And the Nimitta Karana. Nimitta Karana is you need a mason. Just bringing the material together will not make a wall. You need a person who can properly make a foundation and then in the right alignment, keeping the balance. It should be at the right angle, right degree, right weight. That is known as the Nimitta, the efficient cause, along with the material. Here it says Brahman is the Nimitta, Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana. Abhinna means both. He is the Nimitta and well as the Upadana Karana. So now, after you understand this Satkarya, what they are talking over here, that is, what is that view? Minus the trap. We are in a trap. That is the trap of Maya. The effect isn't a brand new substance. It is the cause appearing as a particular form. It's not that there is something, a pot meaning some new material has come and something new is come from other than the clay. No. The clay itself has become a pot, which means the clay which was in the form of a lump, now it has got a particular shape and it is called as a pot. Likewise, Brahman alone is appearing as the world. Develop that chakshu, jnana chakshu, whatever you see, understand it to be Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana, which means he is both the material as well as the efficient cause, who has got the brains to do a job. So now, if you have to give some metaphors, in Mundaka Upanishad they talk of a spider and a web. Now you've seen a spider. And then what it starts with its own material, the gel inside its body, it constructs a web. Beautifully it constructs. See the intelligent cause or the efficient cause. Now who is that? Material also is of the spider, and then the construct is also done by the spider. There is no second thing over there. So ocean and waves. Now you see, there is so much of dancing of these waves. But it is that one water. Made out of that one water. Electricity and appliances which we discussed. So the gadgets cannot talk of doership. I am the doer, I am the doer. No. Without electricity or junk. These classic examples again, gold and its ornaments, be it a ring, a chain, a necklace, all these are over the gold. There is a name and there is a form. So this is how we need to understand. And what should we be? Become like that salt doll which goes into the ocean to measure the depth of the ocean and it becomes one with the ocean. So now that mind what we have got, now that mind emerges deep within. I want to know what is this Paramatma Tattva. I want to have the experience of this Paramatma Tattva. I want to have the Aparoksha Anubhuthi. Send the mind. What is mind made of? Now as per this shloka, it is Brahman and Brahman alone. Why should I envy the mind? Let me use that mind, dive deep within myself, and as a salt doll, which is the mind, it got into the ocean to measure the depth of the ocean, to find what is the truth, and eventually it became one with the ocean. This is our true journey. Dive deep within, and at one point the mind will completely rest. So in our mind, default, that nama rupa, what is there? Now know the cause. And what is the cause? The Satchit. And make every perception of ours, what is ours? The substratum. That should become our first perception by default. And that is known as Brahmakara Vrutti. That is the groove. Anything you see, you perceive, you experience, put it under the groove of the substratum. Now, every day, just take 30 seconds or a minute, that's all. Now you need to repeat this. Now let's close our eyes. Now, pick up any object. Any object. Okay, you see a tree. Or it could be a person. You see your mother. Or it could be an emotion. You are getting angry on something. Now ask yourself. Now I presume you all have closed your eyes and you are exactly getting what I am saying. Ask yourself, what is this made of? This particular object which I am seeing, that experience, or the person whom I am seeing, that experience, or the emotion which I am seeing in my mind, that is also an experience. Consciousness plus this object becomes an experience. Now, what is this made of? It is made of that awareness within you. Name and form is just a borrowed entity. Now imagine if you are not aware at all. What will you see? Nothing. Like in a deep sleep, do you see something? You don't see anything because you are not aware of anything. So in this way, for that 1 second, let that mind beat in recognition. And before you engage into that vyavahara, before that tree what you saw, before you start talking about the tree, thinking about the tree, or before you start thinking about your mother, or before you start thinking why this anger is coming again and again, know for 1 second that all this is happening in the awareness. You can open your eyes now. Now, you may be, let's just put some questions. If Brahman is the cause, nimitta karana, and you say is also, you are saying upadana karana also, fine. Now, has he changed into the world? Has he become the world? No. The cause is real, effect is just a name and form. Like you see on a movie screen, that is real. The effect, you are seeing fire on the screen, you are seeing rain on the screen, you are seeing a forest on the screen, but all that, is it touching the screen? Is it doing anything to the screen? No. It is an appearance. The screen is appearing sometimes as fire, sometimes as a tornado, sometimes as a huge wave, tsunami wave in the sea. But the screen per se is untouched. Then why do we have this cause-effect language at all? For our understanding and teaching, for that vyavahara. It helps us to track that dependence, go one step forward and experience that Paramatma Tattva. See, simple example. Somebody came and gave you a cup of coffee. What we do, we take the cup of coffee and we start sipping, smelling and praising about it or talking about it. Here what we just need to do is 1 second. What is behind this cup or in this coffee? It is nothing but the Paramatma Tattva. That's all what we need to do. We are drowning in samsara day after day, going up and down, up and down. What do we need to do? There was a young girl. She asks her mother. She's still not that well matured from a brain point of view. She asks her, where do we get, mommy, where do we get this butter? Mother says, you get from milk. He says, what are you saying? What is milk and what is butter? How can this happen? Then she says there is a process. You have to churn. So this Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, what we do, that eventually shows the substratum which was butter in the milk. Milk became curd, curd became buttermilk, and buttermilk, when you do the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, it became butter. Now, so far in samsara, we are going up the wave and again it throws us down, and another wave comes and again it takes us up and again it throws us down. There is no end to this. What is this life? Do that churning and become like that butter and float on that water. Keep one leg above the other and float on the water. Enjoy the ride. So this way, one has to move forward in life without getting disturbed. Okay. So now we come to verse 67. Again, a very slight difference over here. Grahamane ghate yadvad mrittika bhati vaibalat vikshamane prapanchepi brahmaiva bhati bhasuram. Is again and again talking about what should be your understanding when you are dealing in this world. Very simple. He's not going into a hardcore science and logic. There was once a young lady in the US. Now, she asks Swami Vivekananda in one of her lectures, and whatever she had learnt over there, she remembers that and she writes to Swami Vivekananda. It was so nice after I met you, and what you taught us, everything is God. He told her, he wrote to him. Then immediately Swami Vivekananda, he replied, he's saying, such strange doctrine I have not thought. What are you saying? I didn't tell you that everything is God. And then she was perturbed. She's saying, what are you saying? You only told that whatever it is. Now see, if whatever we are understanding, everything is God, no? When the clay and the pot, both are one and the same. So then everything is the same. So then he writes to her. He says, it is not that what I taught you. You have understood as that. God alone is. World is not. God alone is. Everything is not, but God alone is. Now, how do I use the same pot and clay? Clay alone is. Pot is not. It is just a form. It is there now. If it breaks, it is not there. But clay is always there. So in this way, he makes her understand that it is not that, okay, in a room there is a light and room. Now that light has pervaded the room. It's not that this consciousness has pervaded something. It says just like in a clay, there is only clay and there can be various other forms. So this way we have understood this. Now we need to go one step. Let's dive deeper in this verse 67. Now what is the logic here? He says, just as wherever a pot is apprehended, clay inevitably shines through. Bhati. Bhati means shining. You look at pot. Now you have got the Jnana Chakshu. I should look at what is the substratum of anything which I am seeing behind. I understand. Oh, there is clay here. It inevitably must shine through. So even when the world is perceived, Brahman alone is shining. That's self-luminous and resplendent. Abhati. Bhasuram is effulgent. He alone is shining. So anything you look in this world, I don't say that if there is a tree, don't say it's not a tree. But know that it is tree which is appearing, which is a form of that ultimate reality, which is Satchit, Brahman alone. And the important word again here is Balat. Balat. You cannot, he says, you literally cannot see that ghata without the mrittika. You cannot see the pot without the clay. Likewise, you cannot just see or say, I thought, I felt anything other than Brahman. That should be pratibodha viditam matam amrutatva vindyate. Kenopanishad says this. To know Brahman, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to wait for a particular time to come. Every experience you are having is showing you that Parabrahman thousandfold. You are able to hear, you are able to see, you are able to feel the sense of touch. So many perceptions are happening to you, and all that is nothing but that awareness and Parabrahman. Nama Rupa on that Brahman, that's it. Experience, that is being, you have to be saturated with this knowledge of being and awareness. Now, this concept, what is it now in two sentences? If I am seeing a pot, with the knowledge what I have, I am seeing clay also. In the same way, pot is nothing but the world, clay is nothing but Parabrahman. Okay? So when I am seeing anything, I know what is the substratum, and I immediately have to put in my mind that it is that Satchit, Parabrahman and Brahman only. So now let's do this drill again. How to see what's shining or already shining? Anveka Vetireka, let's use that example. So now you can close your eyes. Now you saw something, a form. What you need to do is immediately for some time know that the form is there, but to know that form or understand that form, I need awareness. Can there be anything which I am perceiving in this world without awareness? No. Now what you do is, you are now seeing that form and you know that there is awareness. Now remove the awareness. Try to remove the awareness. Awareness is primary. You understood, oh, that Without awareness, there is no form at all. You were completely went blank. You removed that awareness. There is no form. So forms are borrowed. And awareness is primary. So this is the way you use that balat. Brahmaiva bhati bhasuram bhati vai balat. So you can open your eyes. This 3-beat nididhyasana, what we can do is, we take a pause. Do all this for a few seconds. You don't have to do for minutes. Pause. Anything you see, it could be sight, sound, taste, or a thought, whatever it is, a form. Now pause. The moment you see, pause. Sense it being in your awareness. I am able to see all this because I am aware. Then take one breath, rest. And then re-engage. Then again rest. Then again re-engage. So what is shining here? It is not that form which is shining. All throughout I thought that. It is not that form, but it is the awareness within me which is shining. So when you see a chain, a gold chain, balat, what you are going to do? Powerfully know that what is shining there is the gold. Drishyamane prapanche. Know that Drishyamane prapanche meaning in this world, when the world is seen, know that the essence is that Paramatma and Paramatma alone. Just like you see a movie, whatever scene is happening in the movie, know that it is because of the screen. Without the screen, there would have been nothing. You go to a village fancy fete, and there you see all the sugar toys. You have an elephant, you have a camel, you have a horse, you have a tiger, you have a soldier. Now know that balat, the taste of every sugar candy is that same sweetness, sugar. You get nice filter coffee. The coffee cups may vary, but the aroma that hits you will not vary. It's non-negotiable. The same aroma you will get, let it be whatever be the shape or the container. You have cotton clothes, whatever be the shape and size of the cloth, if you touch it, you are touching cloth. You are touching that cotton, not that name and form. Primarily you are touching cotton. So in this way, you have to understand. Okay, now you try seeing a pot without clay. Balat, try. You cannot. That clay, which is that Paramatma, is the substratum for everything. So whatever you are seeing, you cannot see anything without that awareness, which is that Paramatma. Now, Shvetaketu, his father asked him, how many pots are there? Then he says, so many. How many clay are there? He says, only one. So this way, you have to understand that it is that clay and clay alone which is shining forth. If Brahman alone shines, then why do I see differences? Because you are registering name and forms in that bhati, in that light. So should I deny the world? Don't deny the world. Just correct its status. Engage the world, but how? See through it. Substratum first and then the form. It is like you don't have to fight the movie. You recognize the screen behind the movie and enjoy the scene. Nothing to worry, but know what is behind the screen. Yatra drishyam tatra drishta deepti balat. Use that balat again. Wherever something is seen, the seer's light, that is that awareness, is perceiving over here. Now let's do a drill again. How do I get this in my mind? You can Gently close your eyes. Just look at your breath, observe your breath. Now you can do this every hour for a few seconds. Pick one experience you had in that 1 hour. You might have had some tea, or you might have sent a mail, or you might have spoken to somebody, or you might have been worrying about somebody. Now in that thought process, is this very seeing something which I did in the past 1 hour? Was it on its own, or is there something shining behind it? Shining means that bhati, that awareness. Immediately know that without that sat and chit, that awareness, I would not have been able to see something, or have a cup of tea, or send a mail, or even get angry. Nothing would have happened. So now, hold that for half a second. What you did, you closed your eyes and you remembered you having sent a mail, and understood that behind sending that mail, it was that bhati which was shining, meaning that chit was shining in you. So that half second or 1 second you hold and know that. In this way, what happens? When you start doing this exercise, this automatically, hundreds and hundreds of them will happen. Initially you start with 1 hour, and then you go to 45 minutes, then go to half an hour, then go to 15 minutes, and every minute you are doing this. So hundreds of this will rewire the Brahma Akara Vrutti in you. You don't have to purchase Brahman or import Brahman or get him from somewhere. It's already that brightness, that awareness within you which is there. Every moment, balat, with force, with that pressure, understand this fact and stay firm to it. Stay firm in it. Don't do anything else. So, vikshamane prapanchepi. So, in this universe, Brahmaiva bhati bhasuram. It is that Brahman and Brahman, Paramatman alone, who is blazing forth. How? In my very seeing, in my very tasting, in my very touching, in my very hearing, in my very smelling. Vikshamane. This is a very interesting word, which is normally vikshamane means you think inquiry. What is this inquiry? No, it's not the inquiry which you're doing with your mind. It is that God alone, He blazes forth unmistakably. What is that? That is that awareness, that pure consciousness. All the time. Just as the pot, whatever you do with it, you just keep it, or you paint something nice and make it a showpiece, or you store water in it, or you store milk in it, or buttermilk in it. Whatever you are doing with it, understand it's clay and clay alone. You are only experiencing it. So this way he says, develop that samadrishtitvam. Samadrishtitvam, what we learnt in the Gita. Have that same samadrishti. It could be doing any function, but behind the pot it is clay. Whatever cup it is in, but the coffee is the same in all the cups. So one monk in the Himalayas, he was sitting in an ashram, the tall snow peaks, towering snow peaks, glaciers, cool breeze, and the trees are swaying. Now he is not that intelligent or that learned. And so he was talking to his teacher, and the teacher, he asked him, Guruji, how do I understand this? And he says, the teacher told him, you find God with eyes open. You don't have to go through any kind of Vedanta or study. And he quoted from the Kabir, he quoted, Khule nain deko saab ko. With your open eyes perceive the Lord. What do you perceive with your open eyes? He said, see Brahman in everything you're seeing, in the Himalayas, in the Ganges, in the plains, in the people, in the animals. And then he said, this is not what I am saying, this is said in the Vedas. Pashya devasya kavyam yona jiryatina mamara. Meaning, look at the poetry of this infinite. Deva here is that infinite consciousness. Look upon the poetry of the infinite consciousness, which neither decays nor dies. Yona jiryati, which decays. It doesn't decay. Na mamara, it doesn't die also. There is one very good nyaya, yachitta mandana nyaya. It's kind of an analogy which is used in the Vedas. It talks about jewelry which is borrowed. Yachitta mandana. So there are two sisters. One sister is very well off, and the other sister is very, in a very modest way she is living. Now once, one sister had to go for a wedding. Now she doesn't have that appropriate jewelry. So luckily her elder sister had come. So what she does is, can I borrow your jewelry? Yes, the sister says, okay, take it. So wears that jewelry and she goes for the wedding. So yachitta means you are asking, you are praying, and mandana means you are decorating yourself. You asked your sister, you prayed for it, and now you decorate yourself. And then what do? You return it back. After you come back, you cannot keep it with you. You have to return it back. So he returned it to her sister. So now, because it does not belong to her, so in the same way, this universe, it borrows from that consciousness. What does it borrow? Bhati, that awareness, that light. Because it does not have, whatever object is there, it does not have anything of its own. Just like nothing in the dream can exist without a dreamer. Without a dreamer's mind, can the dream world exist? No. So in the same way, the dreamer's existence of whatever form, name, place, object, all that was nothing but the mind of the dreamer. So here it says that existence was borrowed from this world. The world borrowed the existence, and Bhati, it shines, it shows off. Just like that sister was going there and everybody was looking at her, wow, what a jewelry she is wearing. But it's not hers, it is borrowed. So we all are living that kind of a borrowed jewelry life. We are just shining now. Shining meaning I'm able to talk, I'm able to smile, I'm able to listen, I'm able to taste, I'm able to run, I'm able to walk, sleep, get up. All this is my borrowed existence. It's not my own jewelry. I have borrowed it from Paramatma. Know that to be the truth. Just like the sister knows when everybody is praising, she knows this is a borrowed jewelry. We also should understand our life in the same way. We are living a borrowed life. Then your aham bhava, that brahmeva bhati bhasuram. Brahman alone blazes forth. Abhati appears, blazing forth. What we are doing is nothing. It is because of that power we live in this world. Okay, now we go to verse 68. I have to tell you about the importance of the neuron, that mudra, what I told you. Let's do that as well. Verse 68. Sadaivatma vishuddhopi yashuddho bhati vai sada yataiva vividha rajjuhu jnanino ajnanino nisham. See, they are so simple, and what a profound meaning they are giving. Massive. Okay. Now what does this say? That self, that existence is ever pure. and it is appearing as impure. Just like a rope, it appears in two ways to the non-knower, Ajnani Nisham. Ajnani Anisham. Incessantly, without any doubt, a person out of ignorance in darkness is looking at the rope as a snake. He is an Ajnani. Anisham. And Ajnani, when the knowledge of light, a torch light is put on that rope, on that snake, immediately knows it is a rope. So here again the punch point is that Anisham. Not so for the knower, and how stubbornly that error it persists as an ignorance. I am this person. I am the doer. I will get it done. I will achieve this. So the implied opposite remains true. Right knowledge, it snaps the granthi, the knot, what we are caught up in, instantly. Just like you flash a torchlight on the snake, the snake becomes a rope. So here, that purity, that Atma Nitya Shuddha, Sadaiva Atma Shuddhopi. So that Nitya Shuddha, it is always pure. Now this belongs to the Atman. And what is that impurity now? That impurity is the vrittis in our mind which is happening constantly, all untoward thoughts about me, about myself, about what could I gain, how could I gain, how could I surpass somebody, all these vrittis, that is the Ajnani, impurity. So why does it feel so nasty? Anisham again. There are two ignorant powers. What are they? Always they're running in us. Avarana and Vikshepa. I don't know that it is a rope because it is covered by darkness. And Vikshepa, not only it is showing me as it is covered by darkness, now it is showing, that rope is showing something as a snake. What am I feeling? I am feeling guilty. I am feeling angry. I am feeling stressed. I am feeling inadequate. I am feeling helpless. All this is only this body. Now, its time has come. Be happy that you're going to get a new dress. So that's how the Lord takes this old dress and He gives you a new one. If you want. Now, if you don't want a new one, understand that you are the bhati, the light, the awareness, become one with the Paramatma. So till that knowledge lands in your mind and that it reprojects on that granthi, that knot, it has to show that, flash a light and show it is not a snake, it is a rope. So one, substratum. And what? There are many wrong understandings. Like that same rope is looking to somebody like a snake, and somebody is saying it is a garland which the nearby temple, they must have thrown it here. Somebody says, no, recently there was an earthquake here and so it's a crack in the ground. Somebody says it's a stream of water going. So that same Atman is appearing to me as I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the sufferer, karta, bhokta, jnata, this way. Like you have a white crystal, you place it in front of a hibiscus flower, so the crystal will look red. You place it in front of a yellow flower, the crystal will look yellow. You place it in front of a red cloth, the crystal will look red. So in the same way, what is happening? Our mind is changing in the situations like this. Just like you see a sun in that muddy water. And you can see that the sun is looking muddy over there. It's not looking neat and clean. But when you look up, you will be able to see that sun shining forth. So a lady used to complain to her husband every day and say, Look at my neighbor, she has just washed clothes and she's putting on the rope. Look how dirty they are. So every day she was telling the same thing. The husband one day he noticed carefully, and then he went to her. He took her glasses, he nicely put a lotion and wiped it properly, cleaned it, and he gave it to her crystal clear. Now she looks at the clothes. Oh, they're so clean, they're sparkling. So it is our mind which has obstructed us from the knowledge. So this is what we need to understand over here. Okay. So now we get to learning the just to take a recap, there is a Jnani and there is an Ajnani. Okay. So the pure who is a Jnani, he understands that it is a rope. The Ajnani, lack of light, he understands it to be a snake. That's all. So in this samsara, you have got Jnanis and you have got Ajnanis also. So if you are an Ajnani, if there is no light, better get light, and light means knowledge, and see what is the truth prevailing over there. That's how one should perform in life. Okay, now we go to the we'll do the importance of the neuron. So now how exactly we have to do that exercise? Let's once again understand that, and we will practice that. Okay. Now you have this palm this way. Now these two fingers go above the other. Let's put it that way. Now this goes above this and this goes above this. Got it? These two fingers out of these four, the two fingers in between, they go above the other one on the outer side, and then you just shake your, in the circular movements, shake your thumb that way 40 times, 50 times. Do at least once a day, and if you do more, it is great. Now what does this do? This neuron growth, it is known as the neurogenesis. It refers to birth of the neurons, where this particular way you do in the hippocampus, a region which is linked to our memory, the spatial awareness, and that emotional regulation. Now it is very crucial for people who meditate, who have that deep study, which is especially Vedantic study, where they say that this knowledge is beyond your mind and your senses. Now when you do this pursuit, it enables neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is like the road or the bridge, where that brain's ability is to rewire whatever I've got a wrong understanding. I'm going to rewire it now. I'm forming new connections. I'm strengthening my old circuits. Whatever is useless, I'm cutting them down. So how does this neuron growth help in plasticity and eventually meditation? So here they say, first thing is you have this sharper attention. Immediately your brain becomes, and now this is not just a theory. Now all these experiments done by neurological doctors, deep, one Brahmari immediately raises your attention to the next level. Anulom Vilom and this mudra movement, though that sharp attention you start getting, and immediately the parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest, that becomes calm. So you have a calmer mind, and that enhances your meditation. So this way, when you do that regular meditation, your prefrontal cortex, which is the seat of focus, determination, decision making, all that strengthens. And at the same time, when this prefrontal cortex is strengthening, one most important thing it does is the amygdala, which is the seat for fear and anxiety, it brings it down, it shrinks it. You can chant Om as well. 5 minutes of Om chanting, you don't have to go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist anymore. 5 minutes daily. If you can do it twice, nothing like it. So this neurological shift increases your ability to hold attention steadily, just like dharana, which leads to dhyana and then eventually samadhi. And it helps you to break those old samskara loops, which are the vasanas, that neural rewiring, especially during japa, dhyana, and then this atma vicharana. It helps you to, whatever loops are there, it helps them to rewire them. So if you think your brain as a forest, the more you walk on a particular trail, daily you're walking, daily, along with you another 100 people are walking. What happens automatically? That dense forest, there is a trail, a clean trail which comes up. So that meditation with that same knowledge. So with that truth, the path is clear. And it helps you to disidentify with the ego, because you are putting in those new thoughts, neural wiring is happening, and eventually that Brahmakara Vrutti formation. How is this? With that purified and activated neural system. Now new neurons you're giving. If you want to construct a bridge, if you don't give the material, where will the bridge come from? Once in 15 days some material is coming, hardly some portion of the bridge is done. And again after 1 month some little quantity of material is coming. That won't happen. So here, when you are building these neurons, it's like constant supply of material. And what is that material you are using? One is the neuron, and with that material, the path you are taking is Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. Now this Vrutti, constantly flickering in your mind, it makes your mind steady and it gives a new coating. Imagine like there is a super highway, 10-lane highway in your brain. Going where? With that Brahma Jnana flowing effortlessly. Smooth road. Even if you go at 300 kilometers per hour, there is nothing to bother you. With that knowledge, if you go, you will reach your destination. If you are on a road which is with all these gravel and stones and humps, when will you reach? So this helps us in understanding that reality. It negates the wrong and gives us the right feeling in life. So especially for mumukshus, this particular neuroplasticity is nature's gift to us. And using these techniques, like you want to open a screw, what you do, you take your nail and you open like this. It doesn't happen. You will break your nail. And then after you have broken your nail, you will say, how do I do? You try to do it with your hand. No. Then somebody comes and gives you a screwdriver. You place this and within 5 seconds, the screw is out. What made you do that? So easily is the tool. So in the same way, we have to use the right tools. That is smartness. Rest is hard work. Okay. So we go on to our meditation. We may cross about 3-4 minutes. Okay. We'll do a witness meditation again today to end on time. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu Idam Namama. We'll take up the Vishnu Sahasranama, number 51. Dharmakrit dharmi sadasaksharam aksharam avijñāta sahasramshur vidāta krita lakshanaha. 478 Sat. See, so beautifully it correlated. The existence in all things and beings is the same ever, and it is all pervading. The sun exists. The space between the sun and the earth exists. The ocean and the creatures therein exist. The psychological organs and their functions, mind and its activities, the intellects and its agitations all exist. This ever present principle of existence is that Sriman Narayana, that which remains the same without any change, in and through all changes, unaffected ever, same in the past, present, and the future. Now, it is called in Vedanta as Satyam. O child, indeed that was also called as Sat. In the Gita, which describing the changeless factor behind the eternally changing matter, Bhagavan says that which is the all pervading in this world, that alone is indestructible and no one can destroy it. Avinashitu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam. Second chapter, 17th verse. So this is the power of that Sat. And to this supreme reality, we offer our humble salutations and seek its grace, mercy and blessings. Dhanvantari mantra, all need good health to continue our journey till we reach our goal. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidaya Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidaya Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidaya Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Our humble salutations to Lord Dhanvantari. We seek His grace, mercy, blessings. Now, let's do the Sakshi Bhava meditation. Take a few deep breaths. A very important meditation. Breathe as deep as you can. Keep your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Body is straight but yet relaxed. Now, as you're observing your breath, observe your mind. And in the mind, observe the thoughts. Now we are also noticing that observing the thoughts without being judgmental, the thoughts are slowly withering away. And you understand that you are a witness of this mind in which the thoughts arise and dissolve. Know that the thoughts are in the light of that awareness. Which you are as the witness. You are the seer, the drashta, and the thoughts are the seen, the drishya. And this process is known as darshana. The seeing. Now at one point, drop the mind with which you are seeing as a sakshi. And rest in silence. Now slowly coming back. After you have dropped your mind, if you're still getting thoughts, that is from the Karana Sharira, which is the Vasanas. For that you need to cleanse your Karana Sharira by Nama Japa, Seva, Dhana. So then you have crossed your Sthula, Sukshma and the Karana Sharira. Bring your attention back to the breath. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamedavavashyate avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, we offer today's Jnana Yajna at your lotus feet to seek your grace, mercy and blessings. Naham Karta, Hari Preranaya, Hari Prityartam, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, everybody. Once again. So, take these pointers, make an attempt. As I told you, 9 is towards effort to get this done. Only 1 is knowledge. We have got enough of knowledge now. Build the neuroplasticity with the help of the neurons. And as Gyaniji asked, you can do it with both the hands or even one hand, right hand is good enough. But that proper movement of the finger has to be there. That will help you in the process. But don't forget the Brahmari, Anulom Vilom, Om chanting, all these are very helpful. Let's use all these tools, ample tools, and do whatever we need to do to get that knowledge. Hari Om, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Water 80%. Connected to Srinivas Sayagari.
Arupoham ahamevahamavyayah dvandvadi sakshirupoham achaloham sanatanah sarvasakshitsvarupoham ahamevahamavyayah prajnanaghana evaham vijnanaghana evacha akartaham abhoktaham ahamevahamavyayah niradharasvarupoham sarvadharohamevacha aptakamasvarupoham ahamevahamavyayah tapatraya vinirmuktah dehatraya vilakshanah avasthatraya sakshyasmi ahamevahamavyayah drishyau dvau padarthau stah paravilakshanau Brahma drishyam mayeti sarva vedanta अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवो